Hi guys, it's Kaylie, and we are continuing Halloween Otome on Otome Tuesday. Hopefully we will be able to finish this route soon, now that November is almost over. So yeah, let's continue. I woke up feeling excited to go out. I quickly got dressed before leaving my room. Oh, you didn't put your mask on, girl. You're gonna get in trouble. Or is this a free day where you don't have to wear a mask or something? I don't know. I see that you wish to go out today. Do you have any destination in mind? The mall. I really want to get some shopping done before the trip is over. Right away, Miss Sauce. He handed me my phone and waited until I'd put it away before continuing. Please follow me. He led me into one of the hidden passages, and after a ridiculous amount of twists and turns, we emerged at an underground parking bay. We got into a nondescript car, and he dropped me off in front of the mall, giving me instructions to phone him when I'm done. I spent a while just window shopping and mentally noting things that I or Mira would like. Man, you were obsessed with Mira. Maybe you should date Mira. After a while, I got hungry, so I located the nearest restaurant and ordered like I usually do. Uh-oh, I think I see where this is going. Who else loves food? I was just about to dig in when a shadow fell across the table. Aww. I looked up to see the buffet lover from the other day. His name should just be like buffet lover from now on. Oh, hey, it's you. Do you want to join me? Sure, if it's not too much of a bother. Not at all. I really enjoyed last time. Me too. I was actually hoping to run into you today as well. He took a seat stiffly, and I looked at him with curiosity. What's wrong? You look nervous. Are you hungry? Well, actually, I think I need to tell you something. He fell silent as a song that I recognized started to play. Very loudly. Oh, turn it up. I love this song. Tiger is so dreamy. And his voice. I wonder just how high it can go. What? Oh, hello. He definitely sounds like he'd have a sexy growl. Expression on his face. Yeah, and those outfits. Did you see what he wore to the last concert? That shirt was practically transparent. Whoa. Don't gush all over your seats, ladies. Jeez. And those pants hugged all the right places, if you know what I mean. I could see his big, throbbing calves. I watched as he got redder and redder with each passing sentence. This poor guy is way too innocent. Don't think too hard. Fangirls are always like that. Are you a fangirl of Tiger, I mean? No, I mean, I like his songs, but that's about it. Oh. My best friend, on the other hand, thinks he's really hot and would love to jump his bones. But you don't need to worry about that. So, what were you saying before? Oh, right. I tilted my head, wondering why his behavior was so familiar. Suddenly, it all fell into place. Mr. Wolf? Well, it's kind of a relief to have a heroine who's not, totally dumb or oblivious. He paled for a second. It is you, right? Yeah, it is, Miss Archer. Why didn't you say something earlier? How did you even recognize... Oh, right, that day with the snowman. Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to tell you. What a coincidence. I mean, of all the people you could have been. I'm glad that it's you, though. I can't believe it took me so long to figure it out. Maybe Mira is right. I am a little oblivious. Well, that costume does cover everything. I'm not surprised you didn't recognize me out of it. You do look way buffer than without it, actually. I guess you must work out a lot. Actually, dance was one of your talents, wasn't it? Yes. Actually, there was something I wanted to say before. There was? Yeah, my name. We didn't get to introduce ourselves to each other last time, so I thought... Are you sure? Didn't Eric say to keep our identities a secret? He did, but being called Mr. Wolf while not in that outfit just feels really weird. Besides, we're teammates, so what's the harm in it? I guess you're right. So yeah, I'm Tyler. And I'm Kaylie. Kaylie, well, it's nice to officially meet you. He flashed me a bright smile that made my heartbeat quicken. Aw, what a little cutie. Yeah, it still feels kind of weird that we've known each other for over a week and we're only now trading names. Yeah. Still, this time, I would like to do this properly. Will you give me the honor of accompanying you today? Of course. Last time was so much fun. I do have some shopping to get done first, though. Do you mind shopping with a girl? I have to warn you, it can be pretty tiring. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to try and get used to it. Used to it? Yeah, where do you want to go first? Aww. He wants to date me. What do you think of this outfit? It's very pretty. You really think so? Yeah, you look great in it. Okay, then I'll take it. Your boyfriend is really nice. Hmm? Oh, he's not my boyfriend. Really? Can I go for him then? Damn, what is up with these thirsty-ass women at this mall? Sorry, but he's mine for the day. Lucky. Seeing Tyler's blush, the shop assistant giggled and blew him a kiss. Damn. Let me borrow you sometime. I'm only in the area on vacation. Seeing the somewhat terrified look on his face, I laughed and grabbed his hand and led him out of the store. Okay, we can go sightseeing. Are you sure? I wouldn't mind if you wanted to go to more shops. Really? I mean, the only shop left is... I pointed at a woman's lingerie store. You're right. Let's go brassiering. I mean, sightseeing. We shouldn't linger here. I hid a smile as I looked at his flustered face. He's too cute when flustered. No wonder the girls at the party were all over him. Come on, there's this place I saw in a brochure that I really want to check out. We left the mall and took a bus to the area I wanted to see. We both got out and looked at the map as the bus took off down the road. So it says here... I stopped when I noticed a group of men encircling us. Tyler immediately stood in front of me. Well, well, so the blushing brat wants to look good in front of his girl. Blushing, you've been following us. Yeah, you guys are from the Valdemar mansion, right? You got out of one of those expensive cars that have been driving all the celebs all over town. Now, unless you want to get hurt, I suggest you hand over all your money. Rich guys like you don't need it. Another guy looked at me with a suggestive smirk. Perhaps you can leave the girl, too. I think I like this one. Hey, Tyler, you can fight, right? Yeah, don't worry. I'll protect. I didn't waste a moment after getting confirmation. I darted out and knocked the creep down. Holy crap, this is awesome. I turned to take out the next one and caught sight of Tyler fighting the others. I elbowed another and smashed his nose before flipping him over my shoulder. Once the last guy was down, I looked over at Tyler. You're pretty good. Holy. Are you two okay? You aren't from the mansion? I'm part of Mr. Valdemar's security team. You're kind of late. Actually, we were getting ready to intervene, but we saw that the two of you had it under control. We? How many of you are there? The man signaled the nearby security guards to come out. And you've been following us all day, too? Yeah, I'm so lucky that I'm assigned to you. Best show ever. Some of the previous guests were absolute bores. Yeah, nice show, kid. For a while I thought you had no guts letting a girl take care of you, but no, it turns out you can protect yourself. But damn, I'm more impressed with the lady. I mean, did you see those moves? Hey, miss, if you're not already taken, I'd love to take you out. Shouldn't we be doing something about these guys? Take them to the police or the hospital or something? Alright, clean up. No problem, just leave them to us and pretend it never happened. Yeah, go enjoy your date and leave this to us. Aw, man, lucky kid. Come on, Tyler, let's go. Yeah. We hadn't gone very far when I noticed a man staring at the security guards and thugs in disgust. Idiots. You'd think they'd know better than to attack guests from the Valdemar mansion by now. It's not like they stand a chance against Mr. Valdemar's security. This happened before? Not for a while, but yes, the last time is still pretty legendary. Oh? Yeah, some thugs tried attacking this guy in a yellow sweater, glasses, and a really dorky hat a few years back. Mr. Valdemar's butler knocked them all out before they could even react. No one even knew the butler was in the area. It's like the guy's a ghost or something, just appears and disappears like that. So yeah, idiots. Tyler and I just looked at each other before deciding to ignore what had just happened and enjoy ourselves. I woke up and immediately realized something was different. What the? The room looks so different. Is this even the same room? My costume is here at least. I just finished changing when Eric's announcement tone played. Now maybe we'll get some answers. Instead of Eric's voice, only static could be heard. I wonder if there's something wrong with this thing. The static just kept getting louder before it abruptly cutting off to be replaced with his announcement tone. So much for that, I guess. I guess I'll head to the team room. I opened the door, only to freeze. What the? It's all different out here, too. What happened last night? I looked around to see if there was some sort of clue or servant around, but there was no one in sight. There's usually always someone around. If I just keep looking, I'm bound to run into someone. My mind made up, I took off down the corridor. I let out a sigh of relief and I rounded a corner to see Mr. Wolf there. He was pacing up and down and mumbling to himself, but I couldn't make out what he was saying. Hey, Mr. Wolf! He practically leaped into the air at the sound of my voice. Miss Archer, is that you? Yeah, do you have any idea what happened last night? None. I've been looking for the others, but this place is deserted. Maybe, but knowing Eric, this place is probably part of some game, so the others should be here, somewhere. You're right. I'd almost given up on finding anyone when you found me. Should we split up, or... No! I mean, if we split up, we might lose each other. Good point. Suddenly the lights flickered off before plunging into darkness. Miss Archer, you're still there, right? Yeah, I'm right here. I cut my sentence short when I felt something brush against my chest. I lashed out instinctively just as the lights came back on. Mr. Wolf, what were you doing? He was doubled over, clutching his stomach in pain. Trying to find you in the dark. I certainly found you, all right. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. You didn't mean to punch me? It wasn't my fault. You copped a feel first. Copped a... what? He suddenly burst into a fit of painful coughs. I quickly rushed to his side. Are you okay? Oh God, we need a doctor. I'm so sorry. Mira always did complain that I have too mean of a punch. I'm fine. Even as he said that, he started coughing again. That's not reassuring at all. I placed his arms around my shoulder to try and support him. What are you? We're going to find our way out of here and get you to a doctor. No, I'm fine. He quickly pulled away and clutched his stomach with a grimace. This is nothing. You're not the only one who knows self-defense. I've been hit harder. Okay, fine, but I'm gonna at least hold your arm in case the lights go off again. Okay. I linked my arm around his and looked up at his face. When we get out of here, I swear I'll make it up to you, promise. A sudden clatter had us starting. Whoa, what was that? Only one way to find out. We cautiously made our way to the source of the sound. We both froze in shock at the scene in front of us. I could feel Mr. Wolf's arm squeezed tightly around mine, and I looked up to see his face drained of blood. Mr. Wolf? He didn't respond. He just kept staring at the wall. Tyler? I clasped his face with both hands. Just look at me, Tyler. None of this is real. It's just part of Eric's game. He blinked slowly, and I could see some color slowly returning to his face. He ducked his head and leaned into my hand. I had to strain my ears to catch it when he spoke. Thank you. Ah. Closing his eyes, he moved his face towards mine until our foreheads touched lightly. Thank you. How do you always say what I need to hear? Damn, that kid is gutless. It was the perfect opportunity to kiss her. Perhaps he was taking his time, and you just ruined the moment. Not everyone just suddenly goes in for a kiss. Besides, this is hardly the perfect atmosphere. The smell alone is atrocious. We both quickly jumped away from one another. Sorry to interrupt you two lovebirds, but we've got a game to win. Must you always be so tactless? I'm sorry, but you must excuse our Mr. Heartless over there. They must have thrown his heart away as well as his brain during his embalming. Mr. Wolf looked as if he wanted to hide under a rock at that point. Mr. Bandages, however, completely ignored all of us as he walked through the bloodied corridor to get a closer look at the blood-stained message on the wall. I cringed at the sloshing of his feet over the entrails. Eric's certainly outdone himself this time. For once, something in his Halloween event is more creepy than corny. Are you going to tell us that what you're looking at, or just stay there and enjoy the smell? Hey, the message is a little smeared, all right, and the writing itself is really untidy. I'm trying to figure the words out right now. He scanned the words before making a rude sound. Ugh, there's nothing useful here. What does it say, though? I'll hide something something seek, find something before I something something first, something something last something fails, and we shall something for all something. That is completely useless. Are you sure you're reading it right? You're welcome to try if you think you can do better. The Count grimaced as he walked toward the wall. I'm going to have to throw these shoes out after this. E.T. blank blank N blank T.Y. Eternity? Not much use, were you? Well, that could be pay or play. I'm not sure if that's a smear or an L. Still not helpful. The sound of childish singing bounced off the walls, seemingly coming from everywhere at once. The lights began to flicker, and I felt Mr. Wolf grab my hand. As the singing faded, the light stopped flickering. Well, that was something. Nothing more than a cheap trick to scare us. Well, it must have worked considering how close you are to me all of a sudden. Or don't tell me you've actually fallen for me as well. You're full of yourself. They made their way back over to us. Well, anyway, the clue was of no help. We came from that corridor, and there was nothing out of the ordinary. Perhaps we should continue along the left path until we find more clues? Yeah, probably best to leave this area as quickly as we can. Let's hope Eric's second clue makes more sense. We headed off together, keeping a lookout for anything that might give us a hint as to what we were supposed to be doing. After a few minutes of walking, the lights began flickering again. Just keep moving, it's a trick. As he said that, we saw a flickering blue light in the middle of the corridor. Mr. Wolf's grip on my hand tightened as he suddenly stopped. I turned to face him, but he was staring at something straight ahead. The singing started up once again as my eyes darted to see what had caught his attention. Is that a child? The child pointed at us and mouthed something silently. Does anyone know how to lip read? Regrettably, it is not one of my skills. Mr. Bandages? We turned to face him, but he was gone. Mr. Bandages, where are you? If you're playing a joke, it isn't funny. The singing abruptly stopped. I spun around to see that the child had disappeared as well. He was right behind me. The Count started to walk down the hallway to look for Mr. Bandages. He can't have gone. What is it? It's nothing. I just stepped on something. He leaned down to pick up the item off the ground. This may actually be an improvement. The Count walked back to show us what he found. He held out a blood-covered doll of Mr. Bandages. I accidentally got blood on it from my shoes, but all in all, Mr. Bandages that can't talk back is an improvement. Wait, what's this? I pulled up a folded piece of paper from within the doll's bandages. I unfolded it to find a message scrawled in blood. Find me. Oh my God, she took Mr. Bandages. Who took? The ghost girl. It always happens in movies. I'd hardly say always. Does that mean we have to find him? It seems that way. I wonder if this is our second clue. Either way, we should probably keep moving. We're not going to solve anything by standing in the middle of this corridor. We kept walking until we came to a set of doors. We should probably check out whatever's behind this door. But what if it's a trap? What if she's waiting for us in there? Don't worry, I'll check it out. He pushed open the door cautiously. It looks like a normal room, I guess. The decor is unusual, but still. I'll check to see if there's anything interesting. Doesn't really look like it, though. He walked into the room and the door slammed shut behind him. Oh, shit! Mr. Wolf and I grabbed the door handle and started rattling it, but the door wouldn't budge. The light started to flicker, and the ominous singing rose up once again. She's going after Count! Count, can you hear me? Are you still there? A moment passed, but the Count didn't respond. Shit, okay, step back. I'm knocking the door down. I moved away from the door as Mr. Wolf made his first attempt. The impact caused the door to shake, but it held fast. He tried again with the same results. Damn it! What is this door made of? He was about to try for a third time when it suddenly creaked open by itself and the singing faded. Mr. Wolf looked toward the door and then towards me before offering his hand. If the ghost is picking us off one by one, then we can't let go for a single moment. Right. We slowly made our way inside the room. Just as we thought, the Count was no longer there. We scanned the room and found the Count's cape lying on the floor. It looks like there's something under there. Yeah. We moved closer to the cape, eyeing the strange lump beneath it dubiously. Mr. Wolf shakily reached out for it, but I batted his hand away and picked it up instead to reveal a doll of the Count and a doll of Mr. Bandages. I quickly threw the cape to the side when I noticed how wet it felt. I looked at my hands to see them stained red. Is that the same Mr. Bandages doll from earlier? I'm not sure, but it might be. Count was the one carrying it after all. Mr. Wolf reached out to pick them up, but I stopped him. Let me, my hand is already messed. Ah, okay. Do you think this one has a note too? Only one way to find out. I picked up both of the dolls before looking over them carefully. The Count doll had a folded up paper in its waistcoat. Mr. Wolf pulled the paper out, careful not to get any of the blood on his costume. He carefully unfolded it before showing it to me. Find me again? Why does it still say me? There's 2 of them now. Shouldn't it be us? Well, maybe. It's not to find them, but to find her? Yeah. Then I guess we should get started. We searched the room for any clues or exits other than the one we used to enter, but found nothing. I don't get it. How did they get Count out of here? Maybe they didn't. Well, I don't see him anywhere. Maybe those dolls are just dolls. Maybe they turned them into dolls. You've watched too many horror movies. Yeah, well, we should get moving. If there's one thing I know from horror movies, it's that staying in one place too long is a sure way to get found. Yeah, either way, it looks like we've only got a few more chances to find her. We've already lost Count and Mr. Bandages. I think it's game over if we're all caught before we find her. Come on, let's go. Mr. Wolf tightened his grip on my hand as we left the room behind. We cautiously continued down the corridor, keeping an eye out for anything unusual. I don't like this. Nothing's happened for way too long. Would you rather the little girl show up again and snatch one of us? No, but a long period of nothing usually means something big is going to happen. True, but we'll be fine if we stick together, right? Right. I won't let anything happen to you. I couldn't help but smile at the determination on his face. He was proving himself to be a pretty reliable guy, even if he was scared out of his mind. Mr. Wolf stopped abruptly. Can you feel that? I stopped as well, and that's when I noticed it. The ground was shaking, slightly. This isn't good. Let's move faster. We started walking again, much faster than before. The shaking seemed to get more intense as well, until we needed to lean against the walls just to stay upright. We rounded another corner, just in time to see the floor crumble away. We pulled to an abrupt stop. That was close. If we'd been standing there. Yeah, I cut myself off when I noticed a figure on the other side of the chasm. Mr. Wolf turned to see what I was staring at and froze. Once again, the singing started up. The girl pointed towards us and started mouthing something. Is she taunting us? It seems that way. Maybe because we can't get to the other side. I'll show her. We'll find a way. After a moment, the shaking stopped and we could finally move away from the wall. We need to find something that can get us to the other side. There's a metal bar across the ceiling in the middle of the room. If we could hook a rope or something to that, we could probably swing across. A rope? Wasn't there a rope in the room where the Count disappeared? I think so. Damn, we should have grabbed it while we were there. Are we going to go back to get it? It doesn't seem like there's any other way to go forward, so yeah. Alright, let's make a run for it then. The quicker we get there, the quicker we get this over, the better. Right. We ran back to the room quickly as we could. Mr. Wolf grabbed up the rope before looking around for a moment. Can you see any hooks or something around? I would definitely make it easier. I pointed to some devices suspended from the ceiling. Those look like carabiner hooks, holding all those things up. Good eye, those will be perfect. Now how do we get them down? I don't want to go all the way back to my room. Just give me a boost. But you're wearing a skirt. Then don't look, sheesh. I'd offer to boost you, but I don't think I could lift you high enough. Right. Mr. Wolf bent down and hesitantly put his arms around my leg before lifting me up with his eyes clamped shut. I grinned at his actions before reaching for the nearest carabiner. Shoot, it's a little out of my reach. Move a little to the left. A little more. Perfect. I quickly grabbed the carabiner. Got it. His eyes snapped open at my shout. His face grew redder as he quickly averted his eyes. He lowered me back down to the ground and took my free hand in his. You, might want to adjust your skirt. He was still pointedly looking away. I quickly adjusted my skirt, making sure that it covered everything that needed to be covered. You can look now. He turned to me, still blushing furiously. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Here, you can attach this to the rope, and we can get out of here. I handed him the carabiner and watched him secure the rope to it. We ran back to the room with the chasm. So how is your aim? It's not bad. Then give it a shot. I let go of his hand and put some distance between us to give him space. His first attempt completely missed the mark and fell into the hole. He quickly pulled the rope back out. It didn't even hit the bottom. Just how deep is this hole? Hopefully we won't find out. Right. Mr. Wolf tried again. Yes. He managed to hook the carabiner to the rod. He tugged it a few times to check how secure and sturdy it was. It should hold, but we're going to have to go one at a time. I don't think the rope can handle both our weights at once. Maybe I should go first. The girl was on the other side last time we saw her, so... No, I'll do it. But the girl could be... I'm lighter. We need to make sure it can handle the weight. But that's all the more reason for me to go. It's too dangerous. He wrapped his arms around me and pulled me into a bear hug. I don't want to risk you getting hurt. I returned his hug for a moment and just stood there. I could feel his warmth spreading through me, and I smiled as I leaned into him. We've still got to do this. What would Mr. Bandages say if we didn't? I can tell him to go to hell. I tried to stifle my laughter, but he must have felt it. Hey, I was being serious. I'd risk his wrath if it meant keeping you safe. I pulled back just enough to look up at his face. Mr. Wolf. I lifted a hand to cup his cheek and smiled when he turned to nuzzle it. It'll be fine. We're gonna make it out of this together, but do what you're gonna have to do to let me do this, alright? But if we don't, you and I can haunt Eric or that bakery in town together. Deal? Deal. I pulled away from him and took the rope. Be careful. You too. I backed away from the hole a bit before taking a running leap to pick up enough momentum to get me across. As I sailed through the air, the light started flickering again. Shit! The moment my feet hit the ground on the other side, I whirled around to find Mr. Wolf, only to have my fears realized. He was gone. I could just make out a small gray lump on the other side of the chasm. Another doll? The last one had clues, so I should probably get this one too. I laid the Mr. Bandages and Count dolls down on the ground before swinging back to the other side. Just as I thought, it was a doll of Mr. Wolf. I quickly grabbed it and swung back to the other side. Carrying all three of these dolls will really be inconvenient. Oh, I know. I quickly emptied my quiver and shoved Mr. Bandages and Count dolls into it. I turned the Mr. Wolf doll over looking for the clue. It didn't take me long to find a folded up note sticking out from under his belt. I quickly pulled it free and unfolded it to find a different message from last time. Mine? Like hell, he's not yours. The light seemed to dim in response to my words. Time to get out of here. I ran through the corridor and came to a large door. I pushed it open cautiously to reveal a room filled with mirrors. I took a step into it, only to have the door slam shut behind me. Whirling around, I tried to open the door, but, just as I expected, it wouldn't budge. Only one way to go now, I guess. I held the Mr. Wolf doll close for comfort as I walked further into the room. After a moment, I realized something was wrong. These mirrors, they don't show my reflection. Are they really mirrors then, or just pictures? I was still staring at the mirrors when the lights dimmed again. Alright, I'm going. I started to walk again, only to catch sight of something in the mirror. I turned to try and catch a glimpse of it, but it was gone. I continued walking, only to come face to face with the sight of the girl in one of the mirrors. Immediately I spun around, but the girl wasn't behind me. What the hell? The girl seemed to move from mirror to mirror, almost as if she was showing me the way. Alright, I'm coming. I cautiously followed the trail until I saw yet another ominous-looking door. The girl now occupied every mirror and in unison pointed at the door. Do I really have to? A nearby mirror shattered, sounding deafeningly loud in the silence. I'll take that as a yes. I hesitantly pushed open the door. Okay, this doesn't look so bad. It looks kind of like a witch's room or something. There's no other door, so whatever I'm supposed to do should be in this room. A quick survey of the room drew my eyes to a sheet of paper lying on the table. The spell of items lost. To find what you seek, gather these ingredients into the cauldron and stir thrice. That doesn't sound too hard. Let's see. The items are the bringer of light, the keeper of secrets, blood of toad, the balance of power, a flask of aqua, and shackles of flight. Okay, I can do this. Alright. Keeper of secrets. What would that be? Ah, the chest. Once all the ingredients were in the cauldron, I stirred it 3 times. It began to bubble strangely and suddenly filled the room with smoke. Just as quick as it happened, the smoke disappeared to reveal that one of the walls was no longer in place. Well, I've come this far. I made my way over to where the wall used to be and started down the dark stairwells it had revealed. Bracing my hand on the wall, I slowly began my descent into darkness. The moment my foot touched the last stair, lights flared to life. In the middle of the room laid a single coffin. A tomb? Oh, I see. I hesitantly made my way over to it. On closer inspection, I could make out words scrawled into the coffin. It's been cold and dark for so long. Will I ever see the sun? I need to take her into the sunlight? The coffin's bolted to the ground, though. I don't want to open it, but I guess I have no choice. I took a firm hold of the edge of the coffin's lid and pushed. I pointedly kept my eyes averted from the coffin's contents until I had fully removed the lid. Then I steeled myself before peering inside. A doll? It looks pretty realistic, but it's definitely a doll. I let out a relieved breath. Carrying a doll is a lot better than carrying around a rotting body or skeleton. As I lifted the surprisingly light doll in my arms, part of the wall slid away to reveal another set of stairs. I made my way to those stairs and looked up to see the light at the other end. Could it be? I quickly made my way up those stairs. A few minutes later, I let out a relieved laugh as I emerged into the warm sunlight. I looked down when I felt the already light doll getting even lighter. What the? The doll had begun to crumble, and before long there was nothing but dust. Good job, Miss Archer. The curse has finally been broken. For your efforts in this endeavor, your team shall receive 3 points. I looked up to see every one of the servants standing by a door. Where are Mr. Wolf, Mr. Bandages, and the Count? They await you inside, if you'll follow me. I nodded and followed the man. I couldn't help but smile at the familiar sight of the 3 of them waiting for me there. Miss Archer, you were amazing. I told you we'd make it out all right. I'm pretty sure you said you'd make it out together. Well, it's not entirely wrong. They did make it out, and they are together now. How do you... We've been watching. We were brought here to watch your progress when we were taken. I'm not gonna lie, when the count was taken after me, I was certain we'd fail. I'm glad to see you have that much faith in me, but perhaps you could extend it to the others as well. Oh, please, you saw how the wolf nearly broke down whenever anything happened. I'm sorry. You have nothing to be sorry about. You helped me get the carabiner. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to pass that point at all. He helped himself to Mr. Bandages. You want to take a shower? What? Or at least change, now that we've seen Miss Archer make it through the task. There's no point in sitting here looking like 2 murder victims. Good point. The Count turned to me once Mr. Bandages left the room. I'd love to stay, but I must bid you farewell, my lovely saviour. Maybe I can pay you back in some form for the next time we meet. With that, the Count winked and left. Eric sure went all out in this challenge, didn't he? I wonder how he got the doll to crumble in the sunlight. Yeah, that was really cool to watch. His eyes flicked to the Mr. Wolf doll that I was still holding. Oh, hey, is that me? Can I look at it? Sure. I handed him the doll. This is surprisingly detailed. I wonder if he had dolls of all the guests made. He probably did. It's not like they were picking us off in a specific order. Now I wish I'd gotten to see the Miss Archer doll, too. He made to hand it back. Nah, you should keep it. It is a doll of you, after all. I should probably give the other guys theirs as well later. No, I want you to have it. Are you sure? Yeah. Alright. Something to remember you by, then. I just wish I had something to give you in return. Oh well, I think I'm gonna take a shower. I really want to get this blood off. Wait, actually, never mind. I should go take a shower, too. I look at him quizzically. For some reason, he seemed a little disheartened. Still, I put it down to the stress of the day. Well, see you later, then. Yeah, later. I wonder if I could ask Mr. Valdemar or one of the servants for the Miss Archer one later. Aw. When I woke up, the first thing I did was check to make sure I was in my normal room. Nothing seemed strange. Satisfied with that, I got ready for the day's task. I had just finished getting ready when Eric's announcement tone rang. Good morning, everyone. So, some people have been asking exactly how we changed your rooms without any of you noticing. Well, the answer is magic. What? Master Valdemar, if I may. Oh, you're still here. I thought I gave you the day off. You did, sir. I intended to take advantage of today's festivities. That's right. Today's Master Valdemar. Perhaps I should explain about the room changes before we move on to that. Right, the floor is all yours. Thank you, Master. I heard the sound of someone clearing their throat. As previously mentioned, the manor has undergone extensive work. Part of that work was the addition of advanced holographic projectors provided by Keeper Tech. Of course. A single flip of a switch, and the room is transformed. Whoa! In addition, we had retractable walls put in around the mansion. They are similar to rolling shutters, and make practically no noise. These are used to give the impression that the rooms had changed positions. That should suffice. I watched in amazement as the room changed back to normal. I thought it was magic. Very good, sir. Now I believe you had an announcement to finish. Today is the final task. Can you believe it? This time just flew. I think this calls for a little celebration. And that, my dear guests, is why we're having a little festival today. The aim is simple. Win as many games as you can to get more points. More importantly, though, just have fun. Enjoy! The last task. I opened my door to see a man standing there holding a box. These are for you. Please read the instructions. Once you're done, I'll take you to the festival. He handed the box over to me before closing the door. What? I opened the box to find the sheet of instructions laid atop a festival mask and a yukata. Wear me. Why such a big page for 2 words? I turned the page over. P.S. Don't take off the mask during today's event. I quickly changed into the yukata and the festival mask before leaving my room. The man nodded approvingly at my attire before leading me out of the mansion and to the entrance of the festival. Oh, cute. Miss Archer, over here. Mr. Wolf, where? I looked around for a moment before I spotted someone waving. I walked over to the waving man. Mr. Wolf? How did you know it was me? He tapped the symbol on his mask. All our team members have this symbol, see? Mr. Bandages and Count have it too. I looked at the 2 men standing beside him to see that they did indeed have it. I like how it looks like the Count has maybe like a kappa mask, and Mr. Bandages, of course, is like an oni or something. Makes sense. Aw, I love Mr. Wolf's like cute kitsune mask. Can we start now? I don't see why not. So where should we go first? Let's split up. We can cover more ground that way. Sure. I started to head off, but was suddenly stopped. Miss Archer, can I come with you? That's a good idea. Miss Archer can keep him out of trouble. Yeah, I don't want to be protecting another man. That's just embarrassing. I ignored the other 2 and tugged at Mr. Wolf's sleeve. Come on, Mr. Wolf. Right. We approached the nearest booth. Goldfish scooping. Do you want to play this one, or should I? You do it. Alright. The booth attendant handed me a bowl and a poi, and I began scooping. I was fast, but careful. It wasn't long before I had, 10 fish in my bowl. Jeez. You're doing great, Miss Archer. You have 10 fish. That's enough to exchange for this token. It's proof that you've won a game. What if I get more? Then you can get one of these items as well. He pointed to a selection of plush animals. Then I'll try for more. I managed to scoop 5 more into a bowl before the poi broke. So a token and which animal? I'll take the tiger. Alright, here you go. He took the bowl from me as he handed me the tiger and token. Here, Mr. Wolf, it's for you. I gave Mr. Wolf the tiger. What? Why a tiger? I thought it was the most original. The rest you can find at a store. Oh, right. Are you sure you don't want to keep it? No, I've got the Mr. Wolf doll. This is for you to remember me by. No. You don't want it? No, I do. I don't want to think about this being the end. Then we won't think about it. We'll just enjoy today as best we can. Yeah. Let's go try some other games. Yeah. We played a bunch of other games before we got hungry. What are you in the mood for? I'll be fine with any... Oh, there's Yakitori booth over there. I love Yakitori. Yakitori it is. After grabbing 2 sticks off the vendor, we both lifted our masks just enough to reveal our mouths before biting into the steaming yakitori. Oh, wow, this is so good. I don't think I've ever had yakitori that's good. It wasn't long before we were finished with the yakitori, but now I want to taste all of the festival food. Me too. Then let's do it. Let's enjoy today to the fullest. Yeah. We went from booth to booth, eating all the delicacies we could find. We played a few more games before Mr. Wolf suddenly drew a stop at a booth. A balloon popping game? The chances of popping the balloon with the token aren't very high. True, but it won't take long to try. Then go ahead. The attendant hands Mr. Wolf a dart. Mr. Wolf threw the dart and managed to pop a balloon. Good job. So what'd I win? You're very lucky. You won the item a lot of people were after. Really? Yep, you won a tiger the exact same shade of purple as Tiger's hair was during that one concert. And lots of people wanted it? Oh yeah, there was a mob of girls trying to get it earlier. Mr. Wolf seemed startled when the attendant handed him the toy. He looked at it for a moment before shakingly offering it to me. Now we match. Aww, so cute. Are you sure you don't want to keep it? It's apparently in high demand. I'd rather you have it. Then I'll be glad to have it. Lucky lady, hold on tight because there'll be a lot of scary fangirls after that toy. Oh, don't worry, I won't let anything happen to it. I held the purple tiger close to my chest. I looked towards Mr. Wolf and I heard him clear his throat. We should head to another game. You're right. We spent the rest of the day going from game to game. Before we knew it, night had fallen. Eric's announcement tone suddenly played through the arena. I hope that everyone has enjoyed this evening as much as I did planning it. Still, the festival isn't over yet. Find a good spot with a view of the sky because it's almost time for the fireworks. We should find the others and watch it together. I don't think we'll find them before the fireworks start, not with this crowd. He grabbed my hand. So let's find a place to watch it together. The others will find us. There was a crowd of people milling around everywhere we went. This is useless. I can't see a thing. Wait, I know. He pulled me along as he headed towards a large tree near the festival grounds. Come on. Let's climb it. That way we'll be high enough to see the fireworks. I'm not sure. I'll help you. I won't let you fall, I promise. All right. Mr. Wolf helped me onto a sturdy branch. We both sat there, fingers intertwined, as we watched the fireworks light the sky. Aw. How sweet. I spent the next morning packing my bags in preparation to go home. I'm gonna miss this place. A knock on my door startled me out of my thoughts. I opened it to see a man standing there with my phone in hand. The games are over, so you can have this back. He handed me my phone. Now, if you could please hand over your tokens from yesterday's games, I can make them to be counted. Yeah, sure. I quickly grabbed the tokens from my dresser and handed them to him. So, when will the winners be announced? Tonight at the ball. Good luck, Miss Solace. With that, he turned on his heel and walked away. It's really over. I closed the door before glancing at my phone. 3 missed calls. I dialed the number I knew by heart and waited for the person on the other side to pick up. Kaylie, hey! I honestly didn't expect to hear from you right now. I mean, you'll be back home tomorrow. Mira. What's wrong? Do I need to beat someone up? I laughed at the seriousness in her voice. No, it's nothing like that. Then what is it? You sound sad. I don't like it when you're sad. I don't want it to be over. Did you hook up with somebody? No. That hesitation. There's someone whose bones you want to jump. What's it with her and jumping bones? No, I don't want to jump him. It's not like that. But you do like him. Yeah. So why don't you tell him? He's so shy and too nice, and well, I'm worried that if I do, he'll just go along with what I want, even if he doesn't. Well, that or run. You sure know how to pick 'em, don't you? I guess I do. So yeah, I'm not going to tell him. Are you sure about this, though? Yeah, I mean, if he really cares, he'll do something, right? Not very good advice. Well, even if he doesn't, there are plenty more fish in the sea. In fact, there's this... No more blind dates, Mira. You know what happened last time. But that was just a once-off. If I had known. It wasn't a once-off. Remember the time before that? Or last Christmas? Okay, fine. No more blind dates. I'm sorry. It's okay. I know you mean well. I do. So when you get home, I'll have your favorite movie and 2 cartons of ice cream waiting. Thanks, Mira. Hey, that's what I'm here for. I talked to Mira a bit longer before we said our goodbyes, and I went back to packing. When I'd packed all my clothes, I paused and looked wistfully at the Mr. Wolf and purple tiger dolls sitting side by side on my bed. I swallowed the lump in my throat as I gently picked them up and placed them into my suitcase. I glanced at the clock and let out a sigh. It was time to get ready for the ball. When it was time, a servant knocked on my door to escort me to the ballroom. As I walked through the corridors, I couldn't help but remember the excitement of the last 2 weeks. I'm really going to miss this place. As the doors opened, I was met with the now familiar sight of the crowd of beautifully dressed people milling around. I looked around for my teammates. I spotted Mr. Bandages leaning against a wall, and Mr. Wolf blushing furiously in the middle of a crowd of women. See, he can't say no. As for the Count, I couldn't see him anywhere. I walked over to Mr. Bandages. So where's the Count? I didn't think he'd miss the ball. Just because you can't see him doesn't mean he isn't around. This place is huge. I guess you're right. The light suddenly dimmed as a spotlight illuminated a single figure, Eric. Good evening to all of my guests. I would once again like to thank all of you for attending this event of mine. It wouldn't have been the same without every single one of you here. I'd also like to thank my staff for being so understanding and working so hard, ensuring the game ran so smoothly as they did. Now, as some of you have already figured out, this is the last annual Valdemar Spooktacular that I will be hosting. A murmur ran through the crowd. I looked up at Mr. Bandages to see his unhappy, silent expression. It's truly been an honor for me. If anyone else wishes to pick up the tradition, by all means do so. Invite me, and I'll gladly join in the games. Just don't ask me to host them. Humorous laughter ran through the crowd. I'm afraid I've gotten too old for this. Well, that's enough of that. Please, everyone, enjoy this final night. I will announce the winner of this year's games in a few hours. Happy Halloween, everyone. I left Mr. Bandages to grab a plate of food. As I filled my plate, my eyes met with Mr. Wolf's pleading ones. I quickly grabbed a second plate and filled it up before carrying both over to where Mr. Wolf stood surrounded by women. Here you go, honey. I made sure to get all of your favorites. I handed him one of the plates and had to suppress a giggle at his confused expression. I know I said I wasn't feeling well, but my headache went away now, so I can spend this night with you just like you wanted. I'm glad. It sure was nice of all these girls to keep you company while I was unavailable, wasn't it? Yeah, I guess. Still, now that I'm here and they can get back to their own dates. Isn't that right, honey? Right. He smiled shyly at me and I grinned as the women all had grown increasingly uncomfortable since I walked over and started to leave. That was easier than I expected. You're way too good at that. It's a handy skill to have. So, you do it often then? Oh no, I've just seen Mira pull these moves a few times. Oh, okay. We walked around trying to eat off of our plates, but it was proving difficult with the crowd that was always about. This isn't working. Should we head out to the balcony? Sure, it's bound to be easier out there. We walked over to one of the balcony doors and out onto the empty balcony. Oh hey, this feels much better. It's definitely more room to move. Yeah. I plopped myself down onto one of the benches on the side and patted the part next to me. Take a seat, honey. We can enjoy the food now. I smiled as I watched his face get redder before he joined me on the bench. I'm gonna miss this. Me too. These 2 weeks went by so fast. They did. It was really great, though. I'm glad it happened, and I'm doubly glad to have met you. I feel the same way. I nearly backed out of coming, but my manager pushed me to do it, and I'm really glad I did. If I hadn't, I'd never have met you. You're really sweet, you know that? If I ended up with someone, I hope they'll be as sweet as you. I'm as sweet as me. Well, yeah, I don't see how you wouldn't be. That was a weird thing to say, wasn't it? Kinda, yeah. Well, what I meant to... He was cut off by Mr. Bandages striding out onto the balcony. So this is where you guys are. Come on, it's almost time for Eric to announce the winners. He led us back to the center of the ballroom, just in time for the lights to dim and the spotlight to shine on Eric. A hushed silence descended on the room as everyone waited in anticipation for the winners to be announced. It's finally time for what you've all been waiting for. I know you've all worked hard, and soon you'll know if it paid off. But first, let's reveal the prizes. The first prize is a one-of-a-kind set of jewelry fashioned by upcoming jewelry maker of the year, Reno. Next is a Lambo Vino. For those of you who aren't car enthusiasts, it's a very limited edition car capable of amazing speeds. There's also an all-expenses-paid trip for 4 to the Maldives for 2 weeks. The tickets are transferable, so they can be given away as gifts if the winners aren't interested. And lastly, there's a magnificent framed painting of Kippy, painted by yours truly. The crowd groaned loudly at this. Okay, I kid. I didn't paint it. It was painted by an up-and-coming artist, though. Who is Kippy? I still want to know. Now remember, all 4 of these prizes go to the winning team to divide however they wish. Okay, and the winners are... Mr. Wolf, Mr. Bandages, the Count, and Miss Archer. Yay! We won! Congratulations. Give it up for them, everybody. The crowd burst into applause, even as Mr. Wolf and I stared at each other in shock. Holy crap, we actually won! We won? Please come up to collect your trophy. Yes, there's a trophy too. Mr. Bandages, Mr. Wolf, and I made our way to the stage, and I noticed the Count do so too. Something. Mr. Bandage fixed Eric with a glare. That car is mine. That's for you to discuss with your team. It's no matter of mine. We did it. We did it. The Count just remained silently smiling. Aren't you excited, Count? I watched his eyes widen and dart around before he nodded. The Count has a bit of a sore throat, Mr. Wolf. Oh, I'm sorry, Count. I hope you feel better soon. Mr. Wolf looked at the Count for a moment longer. Is it just me, or is there something different about the Count? Oh, you know what they say. You look like a totally different person when sick. I guess you're right. And that concludes the final night of the Valdemar Games. There's still plenty of food, drinks, and music, so don't hurry off just yet. Enjoy this final night. He gave us all a final handshake before the crowd converged on him once again. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get used to seeing that happen. Now, back to business. The car is mine. Divide the rest however you want, but no one else is touching that car. Oh, and Count says he wants that Kippy picture. We all turned to him in shock. Don't look at me. He mouthed that he wanted it. I just lip-read. So that leaves the trip and the jewelry. The jewelry is beautiful, but I think it'll suit you much more than me. Oh, then you can have the trip. Well, there's really only one person I want to spend it with. Oh, then you can go twice. The tickets don't have an expiration date. No, I meant, what can I do to make you understand? He looked at my face in exasperation before grabbing my arm and pulling me towards him. I could hear the crowd whistle loudly as he deepened the kiss. It's about time. Looks like the kid finally grew a pair. As Mr. Wolf let me go, he whispered, "Do you understand now?" I lifted a hand to my still tingling lips. You like me romantically? Yeah, I've been trying to tell you for days, but she's oblivious and you're an idiot. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got some keys to collect. Come on, Count, you can collect your Kippy painting too. Mr. Bandages dragged the Count off the stage and left Mr. Wolf and I standing there. Mr. Wolf stood there expectantly, but wouldn't meet my eyes. Your answer? Did he propose? Say yes. How do May and December sound to you? Wait, does that mean... Yes, my answer is yes. He scooped me up into a big hug before announcing, Yes, she said yes. The crowd burst into thunderous applause. I allowed myself to enjoy his embrace for a few moments longer before pulling away to look him in the eye. Hey, Mr. Wolf, didn't you say you'd sing us a victory song? His smile was infectious as he replied, I did, didn't I? He did. When did this happen? Mr. Wolf spoke to the musicians that were playing before heading toward the mic. He seemed like a different person as he grasped it. Okay, if I can get everyone's attention, I would like to dedicate this song to the girl that just made me the happiest guy in the world. A familiar tune began to play and heads swiveled in his direction. Oh gosh, that's Tiger. I touched Tiger. That girl is marrying Tiger? Well, crap. Mira's gonna be so jealous. He finished his song and smiled at me. A sudden wail drew our attention to the girls that suddenly burst into tears. He's getting married, and not to me. Similar cries broke out all over the ballroom. We should get out of here. Right behind you. We left the ballroom, and after going through a bunch of corridors, emerged at the entrance to one of Eric's gardens. Tyler. Yes, Kaylie? There's something I should tell you. I probably should have told you before I said yes, but I was caught up in the moment and everyone was watching. You're not already seeing someone, are you? No, it's nothing like that. Oh, thank goodness. I can handle anything else you throw at me then. Well, you came to this event because your manager wanted you to make connections, right? Well, I don't have any. None whatsoever. Huh? I won a radio competition to come here. I'm not rich or famous. I'm just your average girl. Okay, that I can handle. To be honest, I'm kind of relieved. My family is pretty normal too, and I don't know how I'd act around your family if they were rich. So you're not disappointed? Why would I be disappointed? Are you disappointed about finding out I'm Tiger? And that Tiger is just a normal guy under all that flashy clothes, wigs, and makeup? Honestly, no. I didn't really care that much about Tiger. But Tyler, on the other hand, I guess I got my sweet guy after all. See, I told you I was as sweet as me. Aw. We giggled as we shared more kisses under the clear night sky. Aww. So I'm guessing maybe that was the good ending, the best ending, or whatever. So that was a really fun, cute game. The artwork is really great. Just some minor criticisms I have. The art style was a little bit inconsistent in parts, but otherwise it was like, really, really good. Like, the artwork is really well done, especially for like an indie developed Otome game. And yeah, the sound design is like really good, like pretty good for like an indie game. Sound design's really important, and yeah, I think they did a really good job in this game overall. I noticed very few, very minor, like, kind of grammar or spelling mistakes, or just, words that were, like, left out or forgotten. So, yeah, all in all, I think this is a really well done indie Otome game. I highly recommend it to anyone who would like to play it themselves. I don't think I'm going to end up playing any other routes for now, at least not posting them to my channel. I might play some in my off time for my own entertainment, but I don't think I'm going to be uploading any more videos of Halloween Otome. But if you want to play it, it's totally free. I'm going to have a link down below where you can download it if you want to. And yeah, very cool. I had a lot of fun with this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me know if there's any other Otome games out there that you would like to see me play for Otome Tuesday. And thank you guys so much for watching and spending some time with me. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.